What do you think about the state of music? Do you think music has lost its soul? It's more about commercialism and product placement?
Well, music has always been about commercialism and product placement. It's just, as time goes on, the times change, the medium outlets change, and I think we're at a crossroad where something that used to be new is now getting a little bit old and redundant, and now it's time to move on to something else. As we progress, the music will progress again, and I have full faith in it. So just taking it day by day with that one.
Do you think there's a war between art and commerce?
Yeah, definitely. Especially the most. I like your questions, by the way. With the more artistic artists that are out there, the corporations tend to say, well, your art doesn't fit into our grand scheme of things as selling the product. And a lot of artists, I believe, are compromising their art and their art form to sell a product. Let's make a record about our sneakers instead of let's making a record about what we're going through, how we're feeling, what we're seeing on the street, what we're seeing is happening to our peers and our youth. And there's definitely, for lack of a better word, a war going on between that. And I think what will have to happen is a lot of it has to get stripped down and tore down, where the big conglomerates have to feel that there's not that much money into it anymore, and then the kids can go back to being free to create what they want to create because they don't have any angle. It's not about this. It's not about selling a sneaker or selling a liquor or doing anything. It's just about creating. Like when hip hop first started, or when R&B was real young, it was just about creating. And it's going to have to get to that point. But we're at the tipping point now where things may have to fall down a little bit just to get built up a little stronger.
So I don't know. Are you saying kids don't have the ability to create, or they're not?
No.
They're restricting their creativity?
I guarantee you that kids are restricting their creativity in order to sell a record, in order to get a record deal, in order to be quote unquote accepted, and that's just the blunt end of it. I'm not even going to pull any punches with that. A person can come into the studio and instead of expressing themselves vocally and using their real talent, they'll say, well, just turn on that auto-tune and let me do it the easy way. Or instead of saying something and really creating and expressing themselves about who they are and what they are, let's just talk about being in the club and getting drunk, because that's what's going to sell. So I'm saying it very clearly that they are limiting their talent and they're stunning their own growth.